What's going on, people? I figure I'll record the video before I'm going home. Once again, that's majority of my videos. So I want to show you how I prep the car for the paint. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. Don't leave the crappy comment below. All my videos I record is for my personal memorization, I would say, and then some of the information I share. I do not pretend to be in professional of everything. I did used to work in a body shop like almost 20 years ago, and I do this kind of projects once in a while for myself, and I figure I will share the things I know. Maybe you learn from it something or not. Like I said, you want to watch it, watch it. Anyways, you guys all see my previous video. This is bought a car from auction and not being stained clean title. So at this stage, I did jam the hood in. It's obviously, as you can see, it's been primed. So the hood is jammed, the fender is jammed. God, it's harder to record the video than you actually think. Some people think it's easy, and it's not easy. This is the second time I'm trying to record this video. So everything is jammed, put back together. It's gapped out, all the gaps. That took the longest because one of the hinges was slightly bent and I was fighting it. But I ended up sticking with older hinges, readjusted it, and everything was sand primed. And I will explain to you what I did before the primer. I should actually record the video, but I didn't. So all the panels was getting primer. I usually sand with 180 sandpaper. So I got 320, 400, 180, and a 600 grit. And I will explain to you exactly why I have so many different sandpapers, if some people are interested. So the hood, the fender, and two bumpers got primed. So I sanded the whole thing with 180 grit sandpaper, which is this guy right here, 180 grit sandpaper. It's really, really gritty, and it takes paint off really, clear coat paint and a primer, OEM primer, everything off really good. So for example, the hood, everybody knows the hood is front of the car. It kind of gets beat up, depends on which state you live. They get a lot of stone chips. Same thing with the bumpers. So I almost took I wouldn't say all of it, but a lot of imperfection out with the 180. And then same thing with the hood. The hood actually, this specific hood was sanded off, like this was bare metal. And then I sanded with the 180, took all the stone chips out. Before I primed it, I actually went over with a 320 sandpaper. Anywhere I sanded it, so I went over with the 320, the hood, the bumpers, the fenders, and all the things, whatever, getting primer once again. And then I primed it. So then I let my primer, usually I like to let my primer dry for 2 days because it's not a paint booth or anything like that. I'm doing it in the shop where I turn the wrench and I do pretty much everything here. After the primer's done, I use 400 sandpaper or 320, 400, depends. And I will go over the whole thing with with the sandpaper, and then the places I can get in with the DA, I will use scuff pad on all these edges. The key is with the scuff pad is actually trying to hit all the corners much as possible, all these little gaps, whatever, because you want micro scratches there, the paint gets thick. The biggest mistake, in my opinion, people do is using a sander, DA, dual action sander, whatever the proper name for it is. They will sand it by edges and stuff like that. Anytime you use DA, and for the example, like on a hood and a fender, for the hood it's easy to explain, make sure you keep your DA all the time flat as possible. You don't want to sand it with the edge. You basically blocking a car with a sander, and you don't want to go in too fast, you don't want to go in too low. Actually, should I record the video on it and what speed I use in it? I will go over the whole thing and keep it flat as possible. That's the biggest mistake I think people using it. Biggest mistake people do using the sandpaper DA on the edge. I'm kind of getting overwhelmed. So like this bumper, it was really bad shape. It had a ton of scratches, so I ended up burning through the original paint. And then I primed it, and then I sanded it again, and then I burned right through my primer again. What did I do with that? There's two ways to go about when you burn through your own primer. like to the plastic or to the metal. You could use sealer. I'm not a big fan of using a sealer. I used it a few times in my life and I'm not a big fan of it. The sealer is, well, it's pretty much like a primer. It will cover up all the burn through marks and micro scratches, and then you paint it right over. Sealer will not get sanded. It just, you spray it, wait 15 to 25 minutes, and then you lay your paint on it. I usually lay my paint right in a primer, and then it looks really good because I will finish my primer with a 600 grit sandpaper, and then anywhere I burn, I will use spray can primer. As you can see right here, that's why it's a couple different colors. And then I will hit it with a gray scuff pad, which is this one. Like right here in the front of the bumper, you see it's burned through, but there's a paint underneath, so it's no big deal. You actually can paint right over and this is going to be fine. This part right here, I will just, it's already primed. I will just go over with a scuff pad, take the shine off of it, and that's it. It's good to go to paint it. And that way I don't have to use the sealer, because sealer is not really cheap anymore either. There's none of the chemicals is cheap anymore. So then my blend panels, whatever be more politically correct once again. The blend panels is the panel what gets paint and clear. So for the example, we're doing a fender, door, and a door. So the fender is going to get paint, then door will get one coat of paint, and then this spot will get two coats. And my plan is to spray my paint up to here, and then this part is just going to get a clear coat. That calls blend. So that's how I'm going to blend it. Actually, the better way to explain is right here. So we have a quarter panel, and we've got a primer. Where do you stop with the paint? So what I end up doing, I will scuff. It's kind of hard to see, but it's basically been scuffed up to here. I will scuff really, really hard, and then as I go over here lighter. So my blend will be up to here. So we're going to get paint up to here, and then the rest of it is going to be clear. And then you will see the line, but what you end up doing, you wet sand it a little bit with the 1500 sandpaper, and then it will buff it, and you will never going to see it. Same thing on this dog leg. So it's scuffed up to here, and then it will get clear up to here, and the paint actually will be just like, the paint will be like this. All this is going to get paint, and all this part is going to get clear. The biggest mistake I see people do, they will cut corners on prepping a car. In my opinion, you can be the best paint in the world, but if you don't prep the car right, your paint job will look like crap. So a lot of people will concentrate how to proper way to lay the paint with the, with the spray gun, and that's important. But I think to prep a car is more important. So when you're in a body shop and you have a crappy prepper for the paint, let's say you got a paint guy and a prepper, and your guy is not prepping a car, he leaves a lot of shiny spots off, or he doesn't take all the edges off the primer like this, where as you can see, the person who knows what the bodywork is supposed to look like, he will say the prepper, it's not a painter mistake, it's a prepper mistake. So I take lots of time to prep my car right, and I go over with the scuff pad numerous times, and I will go with the flashlight, and I will take all the shiny, so like I went over already once, but can you see it's dull and it's shiny. You want your paintable panels, the panels you're gonna paint, to scuff as much as you can till your hand falls off. But obviously you don't want to burn through the paint. And what I use for that is not a red scuff pad for the blend panels. It's actually a gray scuff pad. I mean, what the hell did I do with it? I showed you guys a little bit ago. So I use gray scuff pad for my blend panels right here. And another trick is on all your panels, whatever you paint it, so you have edge of a door. A lot of guys will just scuff like this, and it's okay, and it's good enough. The key is to scuff this edge right here. Actually get your scuff pad underneath there and scuff it. The reason why you want, so your clear kind of flows in the corners. Same thing over here. You want scuff this little lip right here. That way your clear gets has something to stick to. If you don't, eventually you have potential to clear to start peeling off of there. And I see that happen quite often. So I think that's it. So we got the bolt bumpers done, the hood, the fender. I gotta prep the door handle and the mirror, and then we will mask the car and be ready to go. Luckily, I got all the parts besides this chrome piece and those two chrome pieces going on the bottom. But what I'm gonna do with that, I actually will cut the corner on this side of the door right here. See the chrome pieces? I will just take them off, and this thing is not gonna have a chrome pieces because this is SLE. And to find the bumper from SLE, I tried. It's almost impossible because SLE will have a chrome strip going across the bumper. So the plan is, since I'm going to keep this car to myself for a while at least, eventually I want to take the badges off, like leave VDub, take all this badges off. I really like the, for some reason, I know this is just the Passat, it's nothing fancy about it, but I like the looks of these cars. So that's my stage, how I prep the car. I don't know if it's a proper way, but everything I did, they seem to turn out to be pretty good. And some of you guys are gonna ask, did I ever screw up a paint job? Yes, I did. Reason I'm so concentrated on prepping a car, it's obviously you spend a lot of time to prep it, then by doing a crappy job on the prep time, and then you spray and it looks like crap, then you have to redo it. That's number one, it's time. Second of all, lately the chemicals will ridiculously expensive. So take your time to prep a car. Trust me, it's well worth it. Thanks for watching all.